My Human by Isabella Mahdavi. My human has always been my hero. He can't see like the other humans, but together we make a great team, and he's my best friend. I've been with him since I was just a little puppy, when he named me Bear. This is very confusing to me, because I am not a bear. I am just brown and furry like a bear. My human and I did everything together. He took me to the park, where I chased the furry golden creatures as they scurried swiftly up the oversized sticks, and I would frolic in the long grass below the fluffy marshmallow white sky, not a care in the world. But my human needed my help as well. I helped him across the road and guided him through busy squares. I also helped my human to see his friends. I helped him onto the moving big red box on wheels and then off again to meet them in the city. They laugh and joke and yell and talk about school and call him Adam. Adam? Why? His name is Human. But all of my human's friends stay far away from each other, as if they don't want to touch each other. My human didn't stay far apart, hugging them and fist-bumping and high-fiving, and I think that is the reason he is now in the big white building with a red cross. It all started with the coughing, not the tickly coughing that you get when you have a cold. The coughs that my human made were dry and harsh, and they went on forever, so much so that I thought he might cough a lung out. Then he started staying in bed for much longer, always making that continuous coughing sound. He started going out a lot less often, and soon we didn't go out at all. This kept going for weeks, until one day people with masks came into our home and rolled him outside onto a plank on wheels. My human's mother looked sad, very sad, and she came with him, walking behind him. I was strapped to a leash and taken with them into a blue and yellow box that moved. We got off and entered a huge white building. My human was rolled away on his plank, and my human's mother sat down on an armchair, and when I tried to go after my human, the leash, which his mother was holding, held me back. I barked at the strange people in masks. Who were they? And why were they taking my human away? Why couldn't I be with him? This was a few days ago. Now my human's mother and I are staying in the building which I heard is called a hospital. Right now, the mother is off in the toilet hole, and one of the masked people walks me and takes my leash. She has a light brown bun under the small net over her head. I bark at her, angry for her taking my human, but she scratches my ear, just the way my human used to, and I stop. "You're the guide dog of my patient, hmm? You're called Bear?" she asks softly, stroking my back with her gloved hand. 2020 is turning out to be a stranger year than we thought. She smiles sadly. "I know how you feel. My father has been in hospital for over 6 months. They just can't find a cure for this wretched virus, and we have to see hundreds of people every week whose sickness might kill us off or our families." She stops and bends her head. "I suppose you can't understand a word that I'm saying, can you?" She stands up as my human's mother reappears from the toilet hole, and she passes the leash to her. "He is very sweet, madam," she says to the mother, and then she leaves. I do understand what the woman said, though. Her human is in the treacherous hospital, and she can't stop his coughing and his sickness, just like I can't with my human. The difference is this woman has to help everyone who is sick, but she risks catching their sickness and becoming ill. She is helping my human, but she has to be careful so that she doesn't end up like him. I lay my head down on the cool, smooth hospital floor. It is all my fault. I should have kept my human away from the other humans who made him sick. We could have stayed at home, gone to the park every once in a while. We wouldn't have to stay here. The woman comes back every time my human's mother goes to the toilet hole. She tells me how my human is. She also tells me how her human is. She thinks I don't understand what she is saying, but I listen carefully to every word. Apparently, her human has not gotten better and is getting weaker and weaker. My human has not changed, neither becoming weaker nor stronger. I suppose that is good, but I am still worried. I ask myself, what would happen if he got worse? Well, he would get sicker and sicker until I remember what had happened with some of the dogs of my human's friends. When they got sick, they didn't come with their human shortly after. If my human didn't get better, he could end up like that, and I would never see him again. I shake my head and try to erase the thought from my mind. I will never let that happen. Today, when my human's mother goes to the toilet hole, the lady comes to look after me. She doesn't say much to me, and I wonder why. We wait for longer than usual. The mother has never spent so much time in the toilet room before. Just as I start to get worried about her, she appears through one of the many hospital doors, and she is not alone. Walking with his mother, my human has grown thin, with dark circles under his eyes, but I still recognize him. And as soon as I am unleashed by the lady, I jump on my human, tongue lolling out of my mouth. My human is smiling and kneels down to give me a giant hug. My human goes with his mother to talk to some of the other masked people. I am alone with the lady again. She sighs and gives my ear a scratch. Slowly, sadly. Sensing something is wrong, I lay my head on her lap, waiting for an explanation. My father didn't make it. You are very lucky, Bear. What I wouldn't give to see my father again, she says, her voice breaking. I nuzzle my head against her thighs in understanding. She has lost her human to the sickness. She will never see him again. I suddenly realize how lucky I have been, that my human was not too sick, that he got through it. I turn to see my human leash me, and I have to say goodbye to the woman. She has done so much for sick people, only for someone she loves to get ill and move on. My human is a hero, and he suffers through so much, but this woman is one too. Without looking for praise or reward, she puts aside her feelings and places others first. And I know that the hospital is filled with people just like her, and that we are always surrounded by everyday heroes.